Did a man from the 1500s really predict the rise of Hitler, the French Revolution, and even 9/11? He wrote strange poems, saw visions in bowls of water, and warned the world about disasters that hadn't happened yet. This is the mysterious story of Nostradamus, the man who may have seen the future. Nostradamus was born in France in the year 1503. His full name was Michel de Nostredame, but the world now knows him as Nostradamus. He grew up during a dangerous time. Europe was hit by deadly plagues, wars, and religious conflict. As a boy, he was very smart. He learned Latin, Greek, Hebrew, astrology, and mathematics. He also had a strong interest in medicine and healing. When he was just 15, the university he attended closed because of the plague. But he didn't give up. He later became a doctor and helped treat people during plague outbreaks. Many people respected him for his bravery and care. But there was another side to Nostradamus, a side that looked to the stars and beyond. After years of practicing medicine, Nostradamus turned his attention to the skies. He began studying astrology and ancient texts. He believed the stars and planets could influence what happens on Earth. He started writing predictions. At first, they were small, events for friends and local nobles. But in 1555, he published a book that would change everything. It was called Les Prophecies, or the Prophecies. The book contained hundreds of strange four-line poems, known as quatrains. These weren't written in clear French. He used a mix of languages, including Latin, Greek, and even hidden wordplay. Why? Some say it was to avoid trouble with the church. Others think he wanted to make his visions hard to understand, so they would survive through time. Over the years, he wrote 942 quatrains. They spoke of kings and war, disasters, and great change. They were mysterious, sometimes scary, and always fascinating. And here's the thing. Many people believe these quatrains came true. Let's look at a few of his most famous prophecies. The rise of Hitler. One quatrain speaks of a man called Hister rising from Europe and leading to great destruction. Many believe this was a warning about Adolf Hitler, even though Hister is also an old name for the Danube River. Still, the rest of the verse talks about war, bloodshed, and fire, matching what happened in World War II. The Great Fire of London in 1666, he wrote, "The blood of the just will be demanded of London. The ancient lady will fall." In 1666, a massive fire destroyed much of London. It started in a bakery and lasted for days. Many people think this verse predicted that disaster, even though it happened more than 100 years after Nostradamus died. The French Revolution. One of his quatrains mentions the poor rising up and overthrowing the powerful. In 1789, the French people stormed the Bastille and began the French Revolution, ending centuries of monarchy. 9/11's attacks in New York. Some say Nostradamus predicted the attack on the Twin Towers in 2001. One verse talks about two steel birds crashing into the towers in a great city. Now, that's not exactly what he wrote, but many fans say the symbols match modern events. So, was Nostradamus really seeing the future? Or are people reading into his words too much? How did he see the future? Nostradamus didn't just guess. He had a strange method. He would sit in a dark room, light a candle, and stare into a bowl of water or a mirror. He would enter a trance, almost like meditation, and start seeing images, like flashes of war, smoke, or strange machines. He'd then write down what he saw, turning them into poems. Today, we might call this scrying or visionary writing. Back then, some people called it magic. Others believed he had a gift from God. Why were his predictions so vague? Here's the trick. Nostradamus' writings are not clear. They are vague, poetic, and open to interpretation. That's one reason why people from every century think his words fit their time. He didn't say, Hitler will rise in 1933. Instead, he used phrases like, a child of Germany, or a great tyrant. This allows readers to match the events with what they already know. Some believe this was smart, his visions were timeless. Others think it's just coincidence. Nostradamus wasn't just famous after he died. He became well known while he was still alive. In fact, Queen Catherine de' Medici of France invited him to her court. She believed in his powers and made him the royal advisor. He even predicted the death of her husband, King Henry II, who died in a jousting accident, just as Nostradamus described. This gave him a reputation across Europe. He was both feared and admired. Some thought he was a prophet. Others believed he was a fraud. He once predicted his own death. He told his assistant, "You will not find me alive at sunrise," and he died that very night. His tomb was opened during the French Revolution. Soldiers who opened it were said to have found a plaque with the exact date, adding to the mystery. His book, The Prophecies, has never gone out of print since 1555. Nostradamus' quatrains don't stop with the past. Many people believe he wrote about the far future too. Some of his predictions talk about natural disasters like earthquakes and floods, a third world war, a great famine, the rise and fall of great powers, even the end of the world. He mentioned 3797 as a year when the world might transform or end as we know it. That's still far away, but people are already looking closely at his words. Many experts say his verses are too unclear to prove anything. They argue that people twist the meanings after the event has already happened. This is called retrofitting, finding meaning only after the fact. But for millions of others, Nostradamus is proof that the future might not be so unknown. His popularity keeps growing, especially in times of trouble when people look for signs and answers. So, was Nostradamus a genius with a gift, a clever poet, or just a lucky guesser? One thing is clear, his words still make people think, wonder, and ask, can someone really see tomorrow? Whether he was a true prophet or a master of mystery, Nostradamus left behind a legacy that still fascinates the world today. Because deep down, we all want to know what's coming next. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to help us grow. Thanks for watching.